About 1,000 migrants at the peak across Mexico in a caravan. It started March 25th in the city of Tapachula near the Guatemalan border, and they started arriving in large numbers last week in Tijuana. About 200 were ready to claim asylum on Sunday, but they were blocked because U.S. authorities said there was no room to accommodate them at this border crossing here in San Diego. Last night, about the first 8 were allowed in, and this morning organizers are saying that another 6 were allowed in. So that leaves about 140 or 150 that are still waiting in Tijuana. Many of them are camped out in a large patio that leads into the border crossing. These caravans have been going on for 10 years or so with very little attention. This got extraordinary attention because of Donald Trump. He's been paying very close attention and commenting on Twitter and in public forums. So have his Attorney General, Jeff Sessions, Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen. They are promising a swift and stern hand to deal with this surge, which is relatively small. 200 people is not a large number, but they have made it the Trump administration has made it into sort of a test case of how they're going to deal with these asylum cases. So it could take 3 years or more for these asylum cases to be resolved. It's unlikely they would be detained that long, but they have a long road ahead. The people seeking asylum are almost entirely from Guatemala, El Salvador, and Honduras, fleeing violence. I talked to at least a dozen of them, and there were horrible stories about how their lives were being threatened. To qualify, they have to meet a very limited criteria, and I will say the Central Americans have had a very low success rate at eventually winning asylum.